Hey, Alexia, let me ask you a question. What do you think the number one reason why most of our students say they're not improving in English? What do you think that is?
Lack of time because they are always busy.
I would say that is probably the number one reason. Everyone's busy. We all have jobs. We have crazy dogs you can hear in the background. We have families. We have things to do.
And we are here. We are teaching, we are doing everything.
Yeah, we have lives. So it's really hard to learn English when you're doing that. But with italki, you can learn a language when you want, where you want. You can sit in your bed and talk to an American. It's pretty cool, don't you think?
It's amazing.
Yeah. And for the listeners of Inglês no Rádio, we have a special deal, don't we, Alexia?
We do! E agora eu vou falar em português.
Pode falar, pode falar.
O special deal é o seguinte: você vai no italki.com, se inscreve no site, pega uma aula e a segunda vem totalmente de graça. E isso, para acontecer, você precisa colocar o código inglês no cru. Ou uma forma muito mais simples é ir na nossa descrição desse episódio e ir no link direto, certo?
Yeah, that's it. Learn languages on italki. Talk to real people. It's awesome. Okay,
Sim? Aproveitem.
on with the show.
De nada.
Oi, fala aí pessoal, bom dia. Você está escutando o Inglês no Rádio. I am your host, Foster Hodge. This is your daily dose of English. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Foster from Inglês no Cru. I'm here with Christine. Say hey, Christine.
Hey, Foster.
So, Christine is my brother's boyfriend. My brother's
Whoops.
girlfriend, the first gaff of today. But yesterday, you guys heard from Camden, my brother. And today, I wanted to talk to Christine just to learn a little bit more about law in the US and let you hear from some real Americans. So, Christine, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
So, with Camden yesterday, we started with just kind of some general questions about Brazil to see
Okay.
what you know. So, first question, do you know what the capital of Brazil is?
The capital of Brazil is Brasilia.
Nice. I think in general, you know a lot more than Camden does.
Well, right before we started, Camden told me because I knew that would be the first question.
Okay, so well, you did study in Argentina for like 6 months.
I did, yeah.
in
I did a
college.
study abroad in college.
Nice. And how did you like Argentina?
I liked it a lot. So I was in Buenos Aires and I stayed with a family there and went to some other countries. I went to Chile, I went to Uruguay.
No Brazil?
I did not go to Brazil only because of the visa payment.
Yeah.
And I was a little tight on money at the time.
Yeah, no, that's a very valid excuse. Yeah, so you know most Brazilians kind of hate Argentina.
I think it goes both ways.
Yeah.
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 Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just start with a couple of funny trivia questions to see what you know.
Okay.
You know the capital of Brazil is Brasilia.
That's
Can you
right.
name another city in Brazil?
Rio.
Okay, she has Alexia sitting here, so that's easy. How about one more?
Sao Paulo.
Nice. Do you know what language they speak in Brazil?
They speak Portuguese.
And trick question,
And-
just Portuguese.
You made me nervous.
Do you know who the current president of Brazil is? That's actually really hard.
That is hard because there's like some difficulty going on right now, right?
It's a very diplomatic way
yeah.
to say it.
Yeah. So I'm not positive about it. Sorry.
Current president of Brazil is
Michel Temer.
Michel Temer.
Mm,
Yeah, no one knows that.
okay.
Yeah. Cool. So, just in general, Christine, do you have any like thoughts or opinions about Brazil? Like when you think about Brazil, do you have anything like images that come to your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I have a really positive perception of Brazil. And I guess I think of like carnival and fun parties and
Camden
beautiful
said
beaches.
Christ and sexy women.
That's probably true too.
Christine's giving a little bit more refined answers.
But yeah, I would say I have positive perceptions, and I've never been there, but I definitely would like to go.
Nice. Awesome.
Maybe sometime to visit you guys.
I hope so. The door is always open. And I don't know if we still have to pay the visa fee or not. I know they waived it for the Olympics, but yeah, it's reciprocity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to pay it now.
Yesterday with Camden, we talked about kind of the process of becoming a lawyer in the U.S., but you are a much different kind of lawyer than Camden.
Mm-hmm.
I think of Camden as like kind of like a guy on Suits or something.
Yeah.
And I think of you as like someone on Law and Order.
Right. Exactly.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So what kind of law do you practice?
I practice criminal defense law.
Okay. So can you tell us in a pretty simple way what that means?
So I am a public defender. So that means that I am appointed by the court to represent people who can't pay for legal services.
Right. So if someone gets in trouble and they go to jail and they cannot afford to pay for a lawyer, they get you.
That's right.
Wow.
You know, it is requested that they pay a small fee, and generally that's $40 up front. But if they can't pay that, that's also waived. So I would be appointed, like you said, in criminal matters. If somebody had a problem, they ended up in jail, then I come and visit them and represent them.
Wow. So I imagine you have a lot of crazy cases you have to deal with.
Yeah, I have some interesting clients, but I really enjoy it, and it's really interesting, and it's definitely never boring.
Yeah. Do you have any examples of crazy cases that you can talk about without breaking attorney-client privilege?
Yeah, let me think. So I do, I represent one man, and he was, I had his case, and he really had minimal charges. They were just some traffic violations. So I think that was maybe a DUI, so that's driving under the influence.
Oh, that's a very good thing to know.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn more about acronyms, you can check out episodes 45 and 46, I believe. We talk a lot about how to use acronyms in English.
Yes.
DUI, driving under the influence.
Right. And I have to say, acronyms are used a lot in English.
Yeah, especially in law and in business.
Yes.
And another super interesting thing we were talking about last night was in Brazil, they have a zero tolerance policy with alcohol. So in the U.S., you can have 0.08
That's
of
right.
blood alcohol content,
Mm-hmm.
which means like 2 or 3 beers, you think?
Right. Depending on the person.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe for a guy, like 2 or 3 beers, and a girl, maybe like 1 or 2 drinks.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. But in Brazil, you can't drink anything. But you can have open container.
Right, which you cannot have in the United States.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So a guy had minor traffic violations.
Right. So he had these sort of more minor charges. And then he was released from jail. He bonded out. Didn't mean his case was over, but he was released.
Yeah. When you say
And-
bonded out, what does that mean?
So to be released from prison, there is a bond generally attached, which a magistrate court judge would set. Sometimes you can get something called a personal recognizance bond, and that's when you wouldn't have to put any money up.
Okay.
So you could just be released from jail.
So you said like 15 words that I didn't
Sorry.
even understand. So
Sorry.
a bond is a quantity of money that you can pay to get out of jail. It's
Yes.
like a get out of jail free card.
So there are 2 different types of bonds. One is a personal recognizance bond. So you're released from jail based on your appearance, basically. So you don't have to put any money up. The
Right.
other type of bond is a surety bond. So you would have to post bail. So you have to put up money to be released from jail. And that's basically assuring that you will show up to future court dates. That's why that
Right.
they have that system.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I understand why that would make you show up in court.
Well, so another thing is
Can't
that,
you just pay the money and run?
well, that's a possibility too.
Yeah.
But then oftentimes
Just trying to
people
give some
can't
tips to my
afford to
Brazilian
post
friends.
the entire bond amount, because sometimes it could be as high as, $80,000 or
Yeah.
$250,000. On less serious crimes, it can be $5,000.
Yeah.
But if you can't put up the entire amount, there's bonding companies. This is sort of getting into the weeds.
Yeah. we
But
are
they're bonding
definitely
companies
in the weeds.
that you might put down 10% is sort of the going rate. Some companies charge 2 to 3%. You might get on a payment plan. So the bonding company then becomes responsible for you to show up at court. And then you're on the hook with them to pay the entire amount because they've
Right.
already covered it for you.
Yeah. I see a lot of those shops like bail bonds.
Right.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's what that is.
Yeah. And that's a questionable system, but that's the way it works.
Yeah. Yeah. That's complicated.
But anyway, this guy,
Oh,
getting
yeah.
back to that, my crazy case. So he was released on bond. He was out, and something happened, and he racked up 30 additional charges, including 6 attempted murders charges, and that is because he was ramming allegedly. I don't know if this happened or not. We haven't yet gotten discovery. It's very early in his case, but it was said that he was ramming his car into police vehicles. So you get very, very serious charges if you mess with police, obviously.
A minor traffic offense went to
Went
6
south.
attempted
Went
murder
south.
charges, just crashing his car into
Yes.
police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a very nice man. I enjoy him as a client. And I have not yet gotten his discovery. So we'll see what this case looks like.
Yikes.
And discovery is all the information in that person's case
Right,
that the
right.
solicitor's office has to hand over.
Right. So that sounds like a really hard job. In
Yeah,
general, do you
yeah.
like it? Do you like being a public defender?
I like it. I feel like I am given the opportunity to help a lot of different people. It can
Yeah.
be stressful, and there is a lot of pressure dealing with people's lives, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like you have to help the people that don't have the opportunity to, I don't know, pay for a lawyer themselves.
Right. But I think it's important work. Like I said, I get to help a lot of people and meet a lot of people too, which I enjoy. I like representing clients and learning about people and their stories and where they come from and hopefully helping them out in the future.
That's awesome. So cool. Christina, I just want to finish with 2 questions.
All right.
So most Brazilians, when they visit the U.S., they visit, I would say 90% of people visit Disney, maybe Miami, New York, and California.
Okay.
So apart from those places, do you have any places in the U.S. that you would recommend that Brazilians should check out? You're also from South Carolina, so we talk a lot
Yes.
about the South.
Right. I would say.
Camden's whispering Charleston.
Yeah, I think I would definitely recommend Charleston. It's one of my favorite places, and it has beautiful beaches, and it's just sort of a relaxed place to go with really excellent food. I love seafood,
Yeah.
and so if you like oysters and fresh shrimp and delicious food, I would highly recommend it. I think a lot of people draw comparisons to New Orleans. It's sort of like a smaller version of that, but the food to me has less of that French influence, so it's a little bit lighter and
Yeah.
fresher.
Not quite as spicy. Not
Yeah.
so spicy.
Yeah. It's I think it's delicious, and I think it's a beautiful place with beautiful people.
I think, Alexia, you would say Charleston's your favorite city in the U.S.? Yeah, Alexia's nodding
Awesome.
yes.
Awesome. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm heading there next weekend for my birthday. So,
Awesome. Happy birthday.
Yeah, but I want to recommend a couple other places too.
Okay.
I'm not done yet. I would want to recommend Asheville, which I live close to now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we've
it's-
talked about Asheville and
yeah,
our dog
yeah.
sitting
It's
experiences.
an awesome mountain town,
Yeah, kind of a hippie,
Yeah.
bohemian
Right.
vibe.
kind of like a smaller Portland. I hear a lot of people say that.
Smaller
And-
Portland.
Mhm.
Nice.
Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
And then I also really like Boone, which is in western North Carolina. A couple miles or a couple hours up the road from Asheville is another similar sort of mountain town. That's
Even smaller mountain
even
town.
smaller, but really cool and even more hippie-esque, I think,
Yeah.
but really charming and beautiful.
Yeah.
And the last place I'll recommend is Washington, D.C. I feel like that town doesn't get a lot of love right now because of the politics that are in play, and that's fair. But
Wait, you're saying you are not a fan of Donald Trump? What?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I'll just go ahead and say it. But the town itself is great to visit because there's so many things that are free.
Yeah,
You've got
free
the Smithsonian
museums.
Museum there, so you've got 20 institutions at least that are free, including the zoo and the botanical gardens and amazing museums. And I've always had such a great time when I go to DC.
That's
So,
awesome. That's
I'd
a good
recommend that too.
recommendation. I
Mhm.
feel like most Brazilians skip over that.
Yeah, a good one for travelers if you want to see a lot of stuff on the cheap.
Cool. Awesome. So last question, same thing we did with Camden. Is there anything that you would like to know how to say in Portuguese? Josie, stop eating the cords.
Oh, okay. So that's a good one. So we just got a new puppy, Josephine. And she's a Labradoodle, and she is beautiful, but really naughty. And so if you could say, Josie, don't eat my food, how would you say that?
Okay, I'll give Alexia that one.
Josie, não coma minha comida.
Okay, say it one more time.
Yeah. Josie, não
No,
coma
coma,
a minha
minha
comida.
comida.
That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you,
think
Alexia.
an even better and easier word, one of my favorite words in Portuguese is safada or
Safada.
safado. So safado would be the masculine version.
Okay.
Safada is the feminine version. And
What does that
just
mean?
means naughty. So it could be used in
That's
like a
her new
sexual
name.
reference.
Oh, okay. Never
But
mind.
for a dog, you could say Josie é muito safada. Muito safada. Cool. So thank you so much, Christine.
Thank you. Obrigada. Faster.
Obrigada, safada. Então. Thanks a lot, Christine. Talk to you soon.
Bye. See ya.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Inglês no Rádio. If you like what we do, if you want to support the show, please check out inglesnocru.com. At inglesnocru.com, you can find everything from the worksheets for these episodes to learn all of the best pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, real English, the way we speak it on the streets. You can also do personalized private coaching sessions with me in our pronunciation course, Sound School. Most importantly, keep up the good fight and lose well. Até já já.